In this section, we are going to take a look at two main things. One is product to sum and sum to products formulas. Right, so the first part is the product to sum. If you take a look here, sine u sine v is equal to half of cosine u minus v minus cosine u plus v. And cosine u cosine v is equal to half of cosine u minus v plus cosine u plus v. And sine u cosine v is half of the sine of sum of these two angles plus sine of the differences of these two angles. And cosine u sine v is half of the sine of these two angles minus the sine of the differences of these two angles. It seems a lot of formulas to remember. Well, just like on other sections, I would like to have you to take a look of how we get this formula. Okay, so we are taking a look how we derive the formula. First, let's take a look of the recall what we have seen last time, the cosine of the differences two angle. That's equal to cosine u cosine v plus sine u sine v. And then the cosine of the sum of these two angles is cosine u cosine v minus sine u sine v. Then if you add cosine u minus v, cosine u plus v together, then you will get cosine u cosine v plus sine u sine v plus cosine u cosine v minus sine u sine v, and cancel out these two terms. Then we end up 2 cosine u cosine v. Therefore, you divide both sides by 2, you get cosine u cosine v equal to half of the cosine of the differences of the two angles, and cosine the sum of these two angles. So that is the formula. This formula how it come from. Similarly, if we subtract the two cosine, then you will get cosine u cosine v plus sine u sine v minus cosine u cosine v minus sine u sine v. Distribute the negative inside, that's minus that one, and that one become positive. Therefore, you get 2 sine u sine v, and divide both sides by 2. Therefore, sine u sine v is equal to half of cosine u minus v minus cosine u plus v. And that's this formula coming from. And you can see they are all related to our last section what we're talking about. And let's recall also the sine of the two angles sum and differences formula. Okay, so if you do sine u plus v is equal to sine u cosine v plus cosine u sine v, and that is a typo. I apologize for that. This is sine u minus v is equal to sine u cosine v minus cosine u sine v. Then the sine u plus v plus sine u minus v is equal to sine u cosine v plus cosine u sine v plus sine u cosine v minus cosine u sine v. Then combine all the lines turn together, you will end up 2 sine u cosine v. Therefore, the sine u cosine v is half of the sine of the sum of these two angles plus sine the differences of these two angles. And similarly, and if you subtract sine u plus v and sine u minus v, you will end up 2 cosine u sine v. Divide both sides, then you get half of sine u plus v minus sine u minus v. Okay, so this is how this formula coming from, and then right now let's go to focus on how to apply these formulas. And for instance, the first question I put on here is verify the identity with the proof. And we mentioned you can do from left to right or from right to left or from both and arriving to the common part. And I see that this is the formula we just proven, right? So let's do that again. If you see this one, the right hand side looks more complicated. Let me start it from right hand side. Okay, so right hand side is equal to half. Then I'm going to apply the sine of the sum of two angles. So that's sine u cosine v plus cosine u sine v plus sine u cosine v minus cosine u sine. Combine like terms, that's half of 2 sine u cosine v. Half and 2 cancel out, that will give us sine u cosine v. That's the right hand side. So we finished to verify the identity. Okay, how to apply them? And if we take a look of the number 2, cosine ax sine phi x. Okay, so if we recall this formula, let me change the color real quick. Cosine u sine v is equal to half of sine u plus v minus sine u minus v. Okay, so in here you can see this u indeed is the ax and the v is the phi x. Okay, coming back to this problem, therefore I can apply this product to sum formula. That's equal to half of sine ax plus phi x minus sine ax minus phi x. And that's equals to half of sine 13x minus sine 3x. Okay. And let's see. Alright, let's take a look at the next problem. Similarly, this is the product of two cosine. If you think about, go back to look at your formula. I'm not going to go back to the screen. You can take a look at the cosine. Oops, sorry for the technical issue. Let me go back. Here we go. Right. So if you think about the cosine formula, right? Cosine u cosine v is equal to half of cosine u plus v plus cosine u minus v. Alright, so similarly, let's see, what's the u? U is the 2x and v is the negative 5x. So that is equal to half of cosine 2x plus negative 5x plus cosine 2x minus negative 5x, and that's equal to half of cosine negative 3x plus cosine 7x. And since cosine is even, so cosine negative 3x is equal to cosine 3x because it's an even function. So therefore, that's equal to half of cosine 3x plus cosine 7x. Okay, so that is how we can convert the product of sine and cosine into sum of the two functions. So how can we use that? Why do we care about this kind of formula? Let's take a look at the next problem. Sine 5 pi 12. Oops, that is not special angle. It might be hard for me to find the exact solution, right? And sine pi 12 is not exact either. But I notice that if I use 5 pi 12 minus pi 12, then I get 4 pi 12, and which is pi third. That's a special angle. And if you add them, it's 6 pi 12 is pi half special angle. So I can maybe use that, take advantage of that to solve the problem. So recall that sine u sine v is equal to half of cosine u minus v minus cosine u plus v. Alright, so I can let one of those become u, one of those become v. So therefore, psi 5 pi 12 psi pi 12 is equal to half of cosine 5 pi 12 minus pi 12 minus cosine 5 pi 12 plus pi 12. Okay, so that is equal to half of cosine 4 pi 12, which is pi third, minus cosine 6 pi 12, which is pi half. So that's half of cosine pi third minus cosine pi half. And that will give us cosine pi third is 1/2. Right? I'm running out of this space. Let me write in here. So that's half of 1/2. Cosine pi half is 0. Therefore, it's equal to 1/4. That is the exact solution. And let's see. Let's take a look at number 5, verify the identities. So that I would like to, we can do both from left to right or right to left. And let me just start from left to right. So the left-hand side is equal to sine x plus y cosine x minus y, and I'm going to use the product to sum formula. So that is half of the sine, the first angle with x plus y, plus the second angle, x minus y, plus sine, the first angle is x plus y, minus the second angle is x minus y. Don't forget to apply the parentheses, it's very important. So that's half of sine 2x plus sine 2y. Okay, so in here, I'm going to apply the double angle formula. So that's half of 2 sine x cosine x plus 2 sine y cosine y. Distribute the half inside the parentheses. Then I get sine x cosine x plus sine y cosine y, which is identical as your right hand side. And we just proven the identities. Right. So how about this is the part of the sum, right? In the sum or differences can be considered a sum. To product, we can reverse that. Okay, so if we think about cosine x minus cosine y, that's negative sine of the average of these two angles, and sine of the difference of these two angles divided by 2. And if you add the two cosine, and you can indeed in here you can consider as like even and odd functions, right? And think about you put the negative a and here. Okay, never mind. Let's come back to here. Just take a look of the cosine x plus cosine y. That's 2 cosine x plus y, 2 cosine x minus y over 2. And the differences of two sine is sine x, cosine, the average of these two angles, and sine, differences of these two angles divided by 2. And in here, you can think about this is an arc function, and then it's the same as plus sine negative y. So you place that one is in negative y, you get x plus y, and then this one will be x minus y. So these two formulas can be seen related. Alright, so let's take a look of verify again. How can I verify this formula is true? We can do from left to right or right to left again. So let me do from left to right. So 2 is a product of sine and cosine, so I'm going to do the product to sum. So that's half times 2 times or the other way. Maybe I maybe confuse you in here. Let's do the other way. So keep the 2 in here. Okay, so the half angle formula, not half angle, the product to sum formula, half of sine x plus y over 2 plus x minus y over 2 plus sine x plus y over 2 minus x minus y over 2. Okay, so that distribute the 2 inside. Let me see if I close all the parentheses. So that by 2 multiplied by 1/2, that's 1. And then there will be sine, we have x plus y plus x minus y divided by 2 plus sine x plus y minus x minus y divided by 2. So that is equal to sine 2x over 2 plus sine 2y over 2 to sine x plus sine y. Okay, now let's see how we apply that to write the sum of the two sides as a product. If we go back to see the formula, that is equal to 2 sine of the two angles, sum divided by 2, and cosine of the difference divided by 2. So that is equals to 2 sine 4x over 2 cosine negative 2x over 2. And that's 2 sine 2x cosine negative x. I want to take advantage of the cosine is an even function. So that is the same as cosine x. Okay, so that's cosine x. Right, so we write this sum as a product. Alright, let's take a look at 2 more problems. We are going to use a sum to plot a formula to find the exact value of these differences of 2 cosine. Right, so if we go back to take a look at the note, then you can see the differences of 2 angles. Well, no matter you use a u or y or x, there's a variable. It's equal to negative sine of the sum of these 2 angles and sine of the differences of these 2 angles. And I can consider this is u, this is a v. Alright. Therefore, cosine 13 pi 12 minus cosine 7 pi 12, that's equal to negative 2 sine of 13 pi 12 plus 7 pi 12 divided by 2 and sine 13 pi 12 plus 7 pi 12 over 2. And that's equals to negative sine, and that will be 20 pi over 12 over 2, and sine. Oh, I think I did. Why did I write it twice as plus? This one is minus. Okay, so that will be 6 pi 12 over 2. Okay, continue simplify these complex fractions. So that is the same as 20 pi 12 multiplied by 1/2, right? The side 6 pi 12 multiplied 1/2, and simplify this. 2 and 20 cancel out, and this one can be canceled out, so that will be 5 and 6, so that is negative sine 5 pi 6. This is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, sine pi 4. You can use the reference angle, or if you memorize the 5 pi 6 special angle value, that will be great. Reference angle of 5 pi 6 is pi 6, right? In the second quadrant, so therefore is positive. Sine pi 6 is equal to 1/2, therefore sine 5 pi 6 also equal to 1/2. So 1/2. Sine pi 4, that is square root 2 over 2. Therefore, that is negative square root 2 over 2. Right, so that's the value of this exact value of this expression. All right, let's take a look at our last problems. Sine 4x minus sine 2x plus sine x equal to sine x times 2 cosine 3x plus 1. And we are going to verify that. You can do from left to right, and also you can. Okay, so let's see. If I try to do from right to left this time, that's equal to 2 sine x cosine 3x. Just distribute the sine x inside, plus sine x. And I would like to keep this sine x. I'm not going to do anything about that because it's the same as the other sine x. And now it's a product to, I wanted to write a sum. So therefore it's 2 times 1/2 of sine x plus 3x and plus sine x minus 3x and plus sine x. Right, let's simplify the distribute the 2 inside. That's gone. So that will be sine 4x plus sine negative 2x plus sine x. And since sine is arc function, then sine negative x is the same as negative sine x, right? So that will be negative. So sine 4x minus sine 2x plus sine x. That's exactly the same as left hand side. But us finish proving the identities. All right, so that will conclude our section how we converted the sum of the two trigonometry functions sine cosine into a product, or from the product to sum. And I will see you next time.